Hello again, people. It's Marvin from Streamline Entertainment. I'm going to move on to where Ayub and Rocky stand in this case. And I've said it many times, many of my videos, that I think that Lucy rang Ayub to sort this situation out. I think that Jay might have lost some rugs. This is my theory. Obviously, Mafia was involved that were keeping the eye on this situation because Jay seemed to be watched in the club by numerous people, which I found it was really strange from the early days. But a lot of people, I don't think that Ayub and Rocky actually did anything to Jay, but what I think is they may have helped move him for someone at the end of the day. This is what I think. I think they know everything which happened to Jay Slater, but they aren't allowed to say. This is what I think. And I think Hayley Comet is on the same thing that I am too. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Let's talk about the Jay Slater case for a minute, and I just want to go back to basics a minute. And I know there are a huge number of people online and in real life that believe that something nefarious happened to Jay Slater. Now, for me, when you look at crime cases, the ones that are obviously an accident normally kind of follow a pattern where, you don't have conflicting statements. You don't have people who give statements to the media and different people kind of giving different ones. It tends to be the truth is the truth, and you stick to that. And if you look at, say, even Ayub, and I want to just note this, I don't think Ayub murdered Jay Slater. I do not think he was the person who took Jay Slater's life, and neither do I think Rocky was. I want to just be really honest about that.
No, I don't either. And the reason why I say it, from my point of view, I think things went too far with the young'uns, and I think Lucy knew Ayub have got a lot of connections and could get Lucy and the rest of them and the heat off Brandon and Brad and whoever else was there. And that's what he did. I think Ayub and Rocky done their job because they did incriminate Lucy, although Ayub says he knows of Lucy and he's seen him around the strip. They didn't incriminate nobody. And basically what they've done, if anyone comes out with a credible question, they tend to get a bit peed off and delete that person. But what I do know is I do think they did have something to do with moving Jay because he might have been injured. And if they had taken him to the hospital, Jay would have definitely talked that I was attacked by such and such, and I think a lot of people would have been pulled into this.
That I don't think that's what happened. But Ayub has given 3 very distinct versions of what happened. Now, in one of those statements, Rocky was asleep the whole time, including in the car. I don't know how they carried him in the house, maybe like a baby. He was asleep the whole time, saw nothing, knew nothing. But Ayub says in one version he actually pandered to Jay's every possible need. He gave him a towel, a blanket, a cigarette, a place to charge his phone. I'm surprised he didn't put a Lindt chocolate on his pillow. And then he went to sleep and doesn't know really what happened to Jay. Then we have the second story where Jay's outside, he has a cigarette, and he tells Ayub, I'm going to go because I'm starving. I've been up all night on ketamine, but I'm absolutely, all of a sudden, thinking I would like a 3-course meal. I've gone scram, he says, in a word that most people say Jay didn't use. But in the third one, he says that he was asleep the whole time. He didn't know Jay left. And then we have these people that knock at the door and ask Ayub to move their car, and he sees Jay in the rear view walking away, and these people look like something off of The Hills of Eyes, because when they've knocked on the door to ask him to move his car, they have a wheelbarrow with them, which I just think is so fucking bizarre. So even if you look at just that, like, how can the truth have so many different variations? There can only be one story.
Yeah, we know that Ayub and Rocky are putting the raw version there because they have to protect people. And I think Rocky and Ayub got out there because they knew things were going to get on top with a lot of people. And I'm pretty sure they didn't think that this case would be that big. And a lot of sleuths, private detectives, were on to them. I just believe that these people were the middleman. They're still scum of the earth, because they'll still go out there and look for the next Jay Slater, to work with them and promise them the world. And then if they F up, they'll be the next ones who are likely to lose their lives or go missing. I think it's corrupt what happens in Tenerife if you get into the rugs game. I think it's shockingly evident how many young people go to these festivals to actually work and watch each other. And because of, obviously, we're putting names out there, and these people can't hide or get on with their lives because people recognise them. Oh, you knew Jay Slater, tell me what happened to him. They don't like this because it's actually putting heat on them. And obviously their middle bosses are peed off because these young people are saying, look, I've got heat on me, I'm going to have to sort of back off and go quiet. So the middlemen are having to go out and do their work. And then the middleman's, their hierarchies, the top guys, are going to get peed off, and they're going to start looking into people who are actually talking. This is how it works. At the end of that, I think we've just disturbed a massive operation. No, I don't think Ayub and Rocky killed Jay Slater, but the evidence I've got on what I do know and what I do think my narrative is that they definitely moved him from place to place, so that people would know that Jay had possibly been stabbed or hurt or even beat up. But what happened to Jay Slater, I think it happened the night that, the evening, sort of morning of basically of when he went missing after the club. Something happened urgently. I do think that, in my experience of looking into the case, that Jay was hurt. In my theory, a lot of people think he might have got shot. I don't think. I think he absolutely got stabbed. And I think it was someone who knew him quite well and knew who he was. And that makes me think that it is a connection probably to Ayub and Tom Hilton. That's where I think that actually comes in with it, because there was a lot of Tom Hilton's friends at the festival. Let me know what you think, your version of where Ayub and Rocky actually come into this. Because like I said, they're still making videos. They're acting as though they're in the clear at the end of the day. And I do think, my theory is that they never harmed Jay, but I bet they know who did what they did to Jay Slater, which is absolutely disgusting. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment and follow the channel, and let me know what you think of my theory and what Hayley Comet had to say. Please subscribe to her as well. She's absolutely brilliant and puts great information out there on Jay Slater. Thank you.